Hi, and welcome to Pack 23 of the Cigar Professor. I'm Professor Damo, and as you can see, I am running the show tonight. It's anyone's guess whether Professor Topher is going to turn up. I don't know what time zone he's in. He was talking London, which if he is in London, it's probably about 11 o'clock in the morning there, but he's also been in America, and if he's still in America, it's probably about 3 o'clock in the morning. And unlike Omar, Topher is just not as committed to having a cigar as Omar is. Omar will crawl over broken glass, razor wire, hold onto an electric fence, do whatever it takes to be on this show. But Topher, he's just not that dedicated. But so it's not a monologue, and as usual, Omar's not here yet. I've invited to be on the show with me tonight our long-time viewer and great friend, Mr. Stu. Welcome, Mr. Stu.
Thank you very much. It's quite a grand opening.
Well, look, grand opening it's been so long since we've had a pack where we've actually had more than 3 cigars. We've been on 3 cigars for so long, and I thought we'd mix things up. And this pack, we've actually got 6 cigars over the next 3 months, so it's 2 every month. And what I have decided to do for this month and next month is to start with the smaller and then go to the larger of the 2 cigars. So the plan is tonight we're going to kick it off with the Liga Privada T52 Coronet. It's a 4x32. And the way that you know which one of the 2 that it is apart from the fact that it says T52 on the wrapper, but most people's eyesight's not that good, and unless I'm squinting at the right angle and the right amount of light, I can't read it anyway, even with my glasses. You'll turn around the side, not sort of off to the back side, there's the Drew Estate logo, and it's in copper. One's in silver. The silver is next week's, that's the number 9, but the T52 has got the copper shaded logo, so that's the one that you want.
So, just to interrupt, I looked on my form for tonight, and it said the number 9. So I'm going to have to go and grab the T52, put this one back.
Okay, not a drama. Well, while we wait for you, I will let the people viewing tonight, our audience, know what we are smoking. So this is the T52 by Drew Estate Liga Privada series. The interesting thing about this particular one is it's a stalk cut tobacco. Now, what does it mean to be a stalk cut? I'll put my teeth back in. A stalk cut tobacco. As you can see back here, we actually have a picture of a tobacco plant. Now, you've probably seen the videos where they actually break the leaves off and pile the leaves up and bring them and sew the leaves and hang the leaves. But when they do a stalk cut tobacco, what they do is they actually cut the whole tobacco plant off and actually hang the whole stalk, so the leaves actually dry on the stalk. Now, the interesting thing is when you actually stalk dry the tobacco, you can actually pick the leaves slightly greener than you would if you were leaf harvesting, and they actually will cure the same way as a more mature leaf. So I'm not sure if that's one of the reasons why they do it, but that's just something that I do know about that. It is a Habano wrapper, and the T52 wrappers, because they are a little bit thicker than the standard wrappers in the Liga Privada series, they actually ferment these wrappers for between 30 and 36 months. So we're talking 3 years of fermentation. The binder is a Brazilian Matafina binder. Now, the interesting thing is we're going to be looking at Brazilian Puros in month 3 of this pack. And the filler is Nicaraguan and Honduran. So that's it in a nutshell. And I guess the only thing that's left to do is to cut the cigar, light up, and start getting some tasting notes and see how it performs. Now, I've just done a single cut. The draw's not too bad. It might be a little bit snug, but I'm just going to go with that and see how we go.
Yeah, mine's pretty good, and I've only got a small cut on it too. Sometimes I find that the caps can fall off these.
Yep.
think I might use the small flame on this one.
That's not a bad idea. I think I got one here. Hey, it's Omar.
Hey,
What's going on?
Where are you?
I'm at home, man. It's a little cold outside.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like you're in the snow.
But it's cold. It's like 5 degrees. Mr. Stu,
how are you?
really good, my friend. Yourself?
Very good. Yes, well, thank you. Just starting our first cigar.
You going with Firecracker?
We're starting off with the T52, and
you
it's
want-
the one with the copper coloured logo on the side of it.
Yeah, it says T52 on it. The other one doesn't.
Correct.
It actually
Correct.
says number 9.
Yeah.
The other one.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm all over it, man.
Very soft light up. Beautiful.
Is it?
I'm getting a little bit of a floral note on that retro, which is quite unusual for straight off the cuff on a cigar.
I think it's more adventurous than its bigger cousin.
Mm-hmm.
This seems to have a lot more creamy, richer flavors in it, I reckon.
So Topher,
The
Topher
interesting thing is, it's the same recipe across all the Vitolas in this range, from what I can tell on the Drew Estate website. The actual listing of the filler binder wrapper is the same for all of the cigars in the T52. The only difference is the ratio of wrapper and binder to the filler. So that's what you're actually going to experience, is how that change affects that. So
these are a short fill, aren't they? What about the other Vitolas?
as far as I'm aware, they're all long fill.
They're all long fill.
Including this one.
Let me have a look.
I don't think this one is, but everything else is.
Yeah.
Fill.
Yep.
Doesn't actually say anything about this one specifically, but they're all long fill.
I think they mention when it is long fill.
Right.
And you don't mention it, kind of means it's not. Speaking of short fills, where's Topher?
I don't know. If he's in London, he's just being a wuss and not joining us. And if he's in America, he's being an even bigger wuss because he doesn't want to get up at 3 a.m. to have a cigar.
Hey, you can have whatever excuse you want. And I'll tell you what, you can always find time to do something if you really want to do. If I can fuck up a wedding.
You missed the intro I gave you.
Oh, really?
Oh, mate, I said you would crawl over broken glass and grab
Yeah.
hold of the fence just to have a cigar on the cigar.
I was once dying. I was antibiotic and shit.
That's you. You would you do anything.
Hey, fuck that shit. You gotta have guys stick.
That's right. That's right. What flavored notes are you getting on the cigar?
I must admit, because after I got home and I was like 3 minutes over, because I literally just had a couple of spoonful of soup, and that soup had a lot of strong umami flavor. So I'm just gonna have clean my palate a little bit, so to do some justice to the, because it's actually really have for a small stick very profound flavor of hot. So I thought I'm just gonna clean my palate a little bit.
Coconut water by the looks of it.
Yes, sir.
What it is. I'm getting a bit of hickory and a bit of oak.
Evening, Tony. Thanks for joining us.
Tony. Yeah, I think Stu is onto something. It's definitely got this herbal esque, which is slightly sweet. I'm sure it's probably is chicory, so I'm not gonna say it, because having this prior really strong soup tones, there are natural form of antibiotics that you could take. We call them ionic silver compounds. For me, they are as potent as it can be. So,
what is it? Colloidal silver or something?
I prefer ionic over colloidal. colloidal silver. Ionic is an ion, which is not toxic, but colloidal silver still has some toxicity to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Beautiful foot smoke coming off this cigar tonight.
Yeah. What about the woodiness, like the cedary, very strong cedar aspect to it?
Yeah. Beautiful cedar.
Yeah.
Soft bit of pepper in there.
There's a sweetness to it. And you got, huh?
On the tongue.
Definitely.
Yeah. There's certainly sweetness to it.
There's also a little bit of a umami note there too, since you mentioned it. It's almost a little bit of a meatiness to this cigar.
Yeah, so I was thinking this is the soup that I just had, or this is a cigar talking to me. So, but if
I was talking to you, trust me. It's just a subtle in the background there, but it's just definitely got that sort of little bit of
yeah,
sort of almost like a beef broth sort of note there.
Yeah, frothiness. I mean, I mine was based on lamb, so yeah, it's got this it's just this really bad coincidence. It does have that umami meatiness to it. It's just really bizarre. I just had that soup. I'm like, am I tripping or is it a cigar?
Actually, I tell you, one of the weirdest experiences I had on a cigar was many years ago. I think it was about 21.
Was I part of the experiment? Yes or no?
No. I was having cigar, and look. Don't quote me. I think it was the. I'm pretty certain it was the Perdomo Firecrackers while they were like still pretty green, pretty fresh. So it would have been the end of 2020, early 21. And when I lit up, I kid you not, it tasted like a hot sausage roll.
Serious?
I'm serious. Meat and pastry and all it just felt like you needed to put some tomato ketchup on or tomato sauce on the cigar. And then it settled down and then went into this beautiful cola syrup flavor. It was a very bizarre experience for me at that point. So
one thing comes to mind is perhaps an acid cigar, perhaps in that order.
Yeah. I agree, Stu. You on some. Look, I think flatheads are very savory cigars. Flatheads, and sometimes RP. I don't like the whole RP thing, but yeah, some really good RPs we had over the years. But yeah, I think RPs could be a bit, on the spicy end. Epicarellos have that in them too. I don't know, Damo, if you remember.
Yep.
Epicarellos could be like that umami-esque type of profile.
Welcome, David. Thank you for joining us this evening.
David, where are you at? Tell us. We haven't heard much from you. How you been? You've been smoking?
You've been cruising around the world, or you back on terra firma in Australia?
The guy is a cruiser, man. He's the next level cruiser.
Why wouldn't you when the cigars are so much cheaper offshore?
Yeah, I know. I don't blame him.
It's cheaper to pay for the airfare, go over, grab the cigars, than what it is to buy the cigars here and sit here and watch us on the screen.
Yeah. Mr. Sue, what's been happening? Where are you at? What's going on?
I've actually been doing quite a fair bit of work lately.
Yeah.
And trying hard to break Tim.
That would be hard work.
No, it's been good.
Tim hasn't joined in the conversation this evening. What's wrong with him?
I don't know if anyone's around. Daniel is around or not.
Daniel hasn't made a comment yet. So far, we've had Tony and David drop comments in the messages. So
yeah, them two are here.
I was going to message Tim earlier and remind him that it's tonight. He seems to forget.
Yeah, he's in tender age. That happens.
Yeah.
Mr. Sue, that can happen to all.
Exactly.
That herbaceous note you were talking about.
Yeah.
I reckon it's a little bit not celery.
Yeah.
But the celeriac, the root ball vegetables. Yeah, I reckon it's a bit like that. sort of a soft, more mild version of a celery.
Yeah.
With a bit of a nuttiness to it, like a bit of earthy nuttiness to it.
Yeah. So I think the whole nuttiness that you're talking about, which makes any note dry, or than the more herba, more like your moisture notes. This has got a like that dryness to it. It's kind of more like something nutty, cedary, and to it. Look, it had a bit of sweetness to it. Now it's more of a savory cigar at the minute.
Yeah. Now his next overseas trip, December, South America. Yep. Top up the humidor and enjoy plenty on the cruise.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder. That's a good question, David. Are you still able to enjoy cigars on the cruise? Have they all gone a bit stupid on the cruise ships? Because I mean, they're going stupid on the power boards and the double adapters for the power points. I figured if they're going that stupid over an electrical device, they must be going stupid over having a cigar on board as well.
Yeah.
Welcome, Swarf Boy. Heard comment about buying overseas. Pricked your attention. Very good.
Yeah, he's just been on a boat and was trying to get some cigars on the boat that supposedly said that they were there. And then when they were dropping off at islands and that, he was trying to find them. And it wasn't quite as easy as what they made it out to be. And then they give him hell trying to get back over.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Mm.
How's the ash holding up, boys?
I've already
I've been ashing mine like that, so
I just want to be ash champion. That's my
that's about where mine got to, and I kept ashing it out.
You've gained that crown tonight, Omar.
Yeah,
that's mine.
She's gone. She's history.
What are you pairing with besides your coconut water?
Dude, I'm just gonna stick to that. I was gonna make tea, but there was no time. My my run home after work, it's really tight.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm just gonna jump on, have a couple of spoons of soup and jump on. I wanted to make myself some black tea, but I don't want to be too late.
Well, I've got black Earl Grey tonight.
Oh, beautiful. I love it.
I do like Earl Grey tea. And if I feel like cracking it open later, I've got a sugar-free cola.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, I've got a couple to try. One is single malt.
Yeah.
Which I believe is made here in Australia. And one that Swarf Boy got me onto was it's a Navy rum. 57%. It's only 47 or $40 a bottle, I think it is. And it's quite a nice drop.
That's not a bad price. Considering the price of everything these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you hear it from Topher at all?
Oh, he sent me a couple of messages through the week, but that's about it.
Not to me. I'm feeling rejected now.
You're
special.
Oh, damn. Damn, thanks. What's going on there?
That's because you gave me his T-shirt.
Right.
That's right. That's right. That sounds about right. That's typical Toph, right, Dames?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's him. That's him. I'm gonna actually ash this cigar and see if it makes any changes, actually, boys.
Yeah, not a lot, actually.
Let's find out. Let's see, where is it at? Has smoke production gone up a little bit?
I haven't been
having a try on that.
On this cigar. It's doing really good for its size, that's for sure. Punching above its
for sure. Even the smoke production, it's got a really bold profile of flavors that you don't expect that for such a small stick to come out.
Comes out with the rum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really enhanced it.
I'm guessing that sweet note against the rum.
Yeah.
Is it sort of coming out like a smoky burnt caramel note?
Smoky burnt caramel. Yeah, but not as sweet. It kind of takes me more towards the cacao-ness. Yeah, I feel you.
Stu?
Yeah, I reckon if I tried hard enough, I reckon I could come to that.
Stu. Hey, speaking of trying hard, where is Daniel?
Yeah, exactly.
I have no
We
idea.
haven't seen him.
He's silent.
He's silent.
He might be one of the stealth watchers. Although, in fact, if he's watching on Rumble, I don't think there's any comments that'll link through from Rumble to here.
Ah, gotcha.
That's not unlike. It's not like him to not want to contribute, though.
That's also true.
Actually, I'm not sure if his pack arrived in time. So his pack got sent the end of last week.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just hit or miss when you ship to bloody Aubrey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's there the next day. Other times it can take a whole bloody week to get there. So
yeah, so true, Dames.
He might not want to join in because he hasn't got any sticks to the sticks to smoke with it. So
poor kid.
The whiskey changes it again.
Interesting.
So how does it change it for you?
Smoother and creamier.
Okay. Same flavors or different flavors you're picking up?
Different.
Okay.
How different? I haven't determined.
Wow. So big call, dude.
So you said it was a lamb soup, was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had a lamb soup. I've had a lamb stew, but not a soup.
I'm a big on the broth. So what I do with the shanks, I have a bunch of shanks, right?
Yeah.
I slow cook them and I just let them sit there for a long time. And I put a bunch of some herbs in it a little bit, and that's kind of cool. It's so cool. It's got a lot of fat in it, so it becomes like that, give you that beef vibe. But I'm a fan of the shank meat, man. I got funny story to tell you, boys. Super funny story. So in my health journey, I've done a lot of fasting. I've done water fasts, 21 days. I've done 36 days on raw milk. I've done like a whole lot of different things. So once I was doing my water fast for 21 days, I went for about 6 months with 1 meal a week. So I had 1 meal a week, and the rest was just liquids, right? So anyway, so moral of the story, the bottom line is, I'm pretty headstrong. I was working 12 hours a day, 70 hours a week. I don't give a fuck to most things, right? The only thing that would come to my head that would not go away were lamb shanks. Now I'm sitting and I'm fasting. There'd be the lamb shanks just dangling in front of me. Like, what the fuck? Let's go back to childhood. My old man used to feed me lamb shanks. So, those old weird connections. You go like, man, I find it, it's not an addiction, but oh man, that's some good meat.
Yeah.
Tones, you gotta be gentle with me, dude. You asking some dangerous question, man. Look, to be frank with you, I must say this, that I've had days where I go without cigar. I know for some people, like, it's easy, but I think I would say the last episode we did, and I said to a bunch of my mates, man, I said, do you want to get into cigars? Are you into cigars? Watch our last episode. It was quite profound. We went on for a little bit talking about cigars, which is chin wag, chewing the fat, whatever. But I say this, cigar is one thing that you have to be in a mindset, although I'm 24 in a mindset. I'm constantly in a mindset. but I think it's definitely not a cigarette. It's definitely not a shisha. It's definitely not You know, it's the comparison with any other form of tobacco with cigar is not there. It's just not there. So I go sometimes I go through a couple of days and I don't have cigar. I'm like, not having it, whatever. You know, I'm not in the mindset. I'm working on other things that, but I've gone past 2 days, believe it or not.
And they're
But
the
then I'm
days.
like 7 or 8 the next day.
That's the beauty of it, though. Years ago, when I was on cigarettes, you were always having them, and every time I'd finish it was like, oh, why do I do this?
Yeah,
And
what
then
do I
you
do?
reach one, and in another 20 minutes or an hour or whatever, and then before you know it, when Tim comes here, he's out here all the time smoking cigarettes. But like you said, can go a few days without having a cigar, and you're not getting withdrawals or anything.
Nothing, literally. I know the funny thing is that I think there's a whole lot of attitude thing between the cigarettes and cigars.
Yeah.
And I have never felt bad after having a cigar. It's like, only thing is, should I have another one straight away or wait a minute? Type of question mark. But you usually want to have it straight away to do a comparison to the notes, right? It's just a better comparison.
Maybe that's the key for getting the big beard.
It is. I don't like this. I
trimmed mine yesterday. I should have left it long so I at least fit it in with you two.
Yeah, I know. What's going on?
You got to try a little harder.
Traveling with work for the next few weeks, and it's easier to have it short now and let it grow out for the next few weeks than it is to be trying to trim my beard in a hotel room or traveling or at a friend's place or something like that. So
I trim it once a month. I have to go once a month and fix it up a little bit, but that's all you gotta do, man.
I just get some of the extra little long ones that are poking out, or when you sit there and look for a few split ends and just trim back the split ends. That's about it.
This thing is too big. It's just you gotta have to properly, the barbers, you gotta straighten it and then line it up properly.
I've seen these videos with the heated combs for your beard. You get that nice straight look.
Yeah.
I thought, I get you one.
Too nice, curly, and it's like, what the fuck?
Then you can look like Cigar Man Sam.
Nah, it's too gay for me, man. Nothing against
we haven't seen on the show for a while.
Yeah. He's the one who's missing out, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went to a barber once and thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to get this beard trim thing going and get them to, dress everything up and see if they can do a better job than me. I can't handle being touched on the face. Like this.
Funny you say that, because Damo used to say that until he met Nick Perdomo. It all changed. It's all fucking changed.
Wasn't the face.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
It wasn't me whose beard he was running his fingers through.
Yeah, he was a bit excited about my beard, though, fella. Try to have a cigar conversation with him, it just didn't work.
Well, I much prefer the whiskey with this than the rum.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And James, how's your Old Grey kind of working with that?
It's all right. Probably not the best combination. I think I probably would have just done better with an English breakfast, I think.
And breakfast, yeah, okay.
I've just got straight black.
It's obviously a short fill because I'm getting lots of little bits of
it's a short fill.
Tobacco on the tongue.
Hey, I can't take it away from how good it is just because it's short fill. It doesn't necessarily mean it's any lesser of a quality. It's pretty good.
Just means don't hang on your ash for too long.
Just making that comment that we were, pondering what it was, and I think I'm on the page that it is short fill. So,
Mr. Stu mentioned a little while ago, I think a lot of people might have forgotten this the last Wednesday of the month. I think we'll probably have the lowest turnaround because people probably didn't know.
I think that was Tony. Yeah, Tony said that one, I think.
Well, this looks like an Omar question. Monte Cristo number 3. Now, I assume saying Monte Cristo number 3 is talking about the Cuban Monte Cristo by the sounds of it.
Yeah, Monte Cristo numbers are only in the Cubans. The non-Cuban Monte Cristos aren't with the numbers. They go with the more of a Robusto and the sizing profile. Look, Monte Cristo number 3 is... Look, first of all, let's just say this. There isn't a bad cigar. There's no such thing as a bad cigar, right? And the Monte Cristos, or if you compare them with other Cubans, they have their own profiles, right? The Monte Cristo is going to have a specific profile versus Oya de Montre or Cohibas. They're different profiles.
Yeah.
Monte Cristo's upper end start when you start writing Churchill next to the name. When you are sticking to the numbers, is often their lower quality, lower class cigars. Or when you go Petit Churchill, White Churchill, you know, all those says start getting Churchill next to the name, that's their premium level. But hey, you know, we have different palates. Mrs. Stu like one thing and Damon likes the other, and you know, we all like different things. So it's always good to try different cigars and see where you at. But I will say to our friend that you would probably pay slightly more for a Cuban cigar, and you're more likely to have problems versus what we're doing. We do all cigars, but we found that New Age cigars are better made. The craftsmanship is better. The variations are very little. You usually get what you ask for most of the time. What do you think, James?
Well, look, the New World cigars generally have to be punching above their weight to be considered partly as good as a Cuban.
Correct.
If that, you know, like Cubans rest on their reputation and
legacy.
Their legacy and their reputation, yeah. And so the best cigars I've had, Cuban. The worst cigars I've had, Cuban. I think one of the biggest problems is they're a product of their own success. They are so successful that they throw care to the wind now when it comes to QA. And every time I have bought a box of Cuban cigars for the business in the last 6 years now that we've been in business,
yeah,
I have found that every box will have at least 3 cigars that are just a nightmare to try and smoke, even to the point that I would say that some of them are even unsmokable. When they are on, they are on. Like they're really, really good. The Cubans do something with their tobacco that is unique to them, and it's almost a comfort when you get a Cuban cigar and you get that experience. It's sort of like, you know, a real enjoyment, a real pleasure there. But you know, some of the worst cigars I've had have been some of the most expensive Cubans I've had as well. I've had $200, $400, $600 Cuban cigars that I can't smoke. You know, I fought with them and fought with them and fought with them and poked them and prodded them and rolled them and massaged them and cut them and relit them, and in the end just threw them into the bonfire I was sitting next to and grabbed a New World cigar because I actually wanted to have something I could just sit and relax and not think and worry and fight. I just wanted to be in that moment enjoying a cigar.
Yeah.
But the best cigars I've ever had, Romeo and Julieta White Churchill with you, and also
the little Monte Cristo. It was number 3. It was, James.
Yep.
You pulled it out of my humidor. We smoked it. I think it was amazing. Yeah, it was Monte Cristo.
It was Monte
Cristo number 4.
Yeah,
Monte Cristo number 4.
And that was a phenomenal. I can close my eyes and I can still taste that cigar now.
Yeah, same.
Sweetness, the smoothness, the cinnamon, the almost floral incense note to it. It was just amazing.
But the thing is that, and after that, I went out of my way and starting to chase that, and I've never got it after that. Never got it after that. Period.
Well, it was like that one batch of Wide Churchills we had. You remember that when people were walking past us and stopping?
People walking past and they go, what happened there? Like what absolutely happened there?
And I went
Jack?
and bought a box after that, and it was just not the same.
It's shit. Yeah, I bought like $20 after that. Jack, appreciate it, man. Give us a bit of your intro. When did you start smoking cigar? Tell us a little bit about you, man. We appreciate you popping in.
I've said to a friend of mine on here that the same cigar can perform completely different each time you have it. Some of it's because there might be a characteristic of the way that one was rolled. Another one would be how you've been storing it, or the weather change from where you pull it out to when you actually start smoking it. Like for me, walking out here, it's generally pretty cold. I've gone and bought myself a overhead heater now, so it's quite warm and cigars are performing. And of course, the humidor is stopped killing them, like the troubles that I used to have. And then you've got the occasion, haven't you? So
yeah,
I find sometimes, like here when we all get together, it's different than if you're going out by yourself and having a cigar. Yeah. I think that the whole experience also
makes a big difference.
How it performs, or at least your perception of how it's performing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the coffee industry, they've done a lot of research, and the color of the lighting, the size and shape of the cup, the music that's being played in the background can make the same coffee taste different. They'll give the same coffee 6 times to a tasting panel, but each time they change the lighting, change the cup, change the thing, and the tasting panel will think they've had 6 different coffees.
Yeah, James, what's really obviously that I find in coffee, like only espressos, is how cold you're feeling versus how hot it is outside. Completely changes the coffee. Completely changes the coffee. Yeah,
absolutely.
Then you got different tasting coffee. So Damo likes his sour. I like, and so does Topo. We like ours bitter.
Yeah, I think I just appreciate the difference, the variation in the taste you get from different origins, man. It's absolutely phenomenal. From all the African coffees are fundamentally different than a lot of the Colombian coffees or the Central American coffees. It's really good.
Well, welcome to the cigar community, Jack. And the one thing I'll encourage you is to try the width and the breadth and the depth of the cigar world.
That's what she said.
Don't get hooked onto one thing. Try them all. And that's really what Cigar Professor started off doing, was to introduce the Australian market to the diversity and complexity of the cigar industry globally, and how many different cigars there are. A lot of the cigars that we've had over the last 6 years of running this show are cigars that, until we reviewed them on this show, were not on the Australian market, and the Australian cigar lovers had never experienced before. And so that's definitely one of the things that we've really done is opened up the eyes of the Australian market to the new world cigars. We have done Cuban cigar packs on a few occasions, and even in our mixed packs have put Cuban cigars in as well. But we just find that there's a lot more out there than just the Cubans. And so it seems that because Cuban cigars have been around for so long and they've got such an incredible reputation, and just about every cigar shop outside of America has Cuban cigars, that most people have spoken a good range of Cuban cigars. So we don't focus on what everybody knows and everybody's tried. We try to expose them to things that they might not have experienced, so they can diversify their palate and find things that they like.
And I want to make 2 points to what Jack said originally. He was talking about Monte Cristo number 3, and I just automatically gone on to Julieta, Romeo and Julieta number 3. And that's my fault. Monte Cristo number 3 is a very decent cigar, and some of the best cigars from the Monte Cristo I have, they are 3 and 4s. They're absolutely gorgeous. Way better than the number 2. But since Damo mentioned this, I would certainly add, for your benefit, that just remember one thing. I've traveled the world, had cigars in Europe, Middle East, Asian countries everywhere. Let me say this, that most or up to 90% Cuban cigars are counterfeit in most places. Even at duty-free shops, they manage to do that. So unless you buy Cuban cigar from a very, very reputable, in Australia, there's like Pacific Cigars, and they most made Steve, which is, king of cigars, whatever his name is.
Saka, isn't it? Is that the guy?
No, I forget his surname, but yeah, he's the Asia Pacific distributor for Habanos.
Right, Habanos, right? And if you're not getting cigars off them, I know people in the United States that have a large amount of investments done specifically counterfeiting Cuban cigars, and you can't tell. The label's identical, box is identical. You absolutely cannot tell. And it makes it very difficult when Cuba is buying their tobacco from Nicaragua for the past at least 8 years. So they have been buying non-Cuban tobacco and rolling with Cuban cigars. So I remember Damo and I, we sat down with Topher. Our favorite cigar is RG5 Churchill. And we smoking and said, this is not a Cuban cigar. I was saying it was a fake cigar, but it was so yes. So if your palate is there, please, it's by all means, that's your palate. There's no right or wrong answer for your palate, but be very careful. I would rather spend $5 to $10 more through a very verified type of distributor, because there's only one real distributor in Australia that sells Cuban cigars. So be careful and make sure that your money is getting worth a while.
Well, the good thing is with the Habanos company, that through their website now you can actually verify the batch codes on the stickers of their cigars to verify whether the box is legit. And one of the other interesting things that you might not know, Jack, is that a lot of the high-end cigars from Habanos now have ultraviolet ink markings on the labels and the boxes. So if get yourself one of those little cheap LED UV lights, you'll be just like with money, the same ones you use to show up that invisible ink on money, you'll be able to see whether that's legitimate as well. But it's probably only a matter of time they start copying that as well. Yeah, I've just finished my cigar. It was too hot to hold and too hot to smoke.
Yeah, same with me. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and one thing I was thinking of too, while you guys were talking, that how we smoke the one that we've just had will be slightly different to the next one because of the Vitola.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So if you smoke it too hard, like you would the bigger one, that you're sort of overcooking it as you're smoking it as well, which will change its flavour.
Well, I guess it's time to move on to our second cigar of the pack.
Boys, that needs some big intro, man.
Mate,
that stuff
is the Perdomo Firecracker, made in 2020.
You can't buy the damn thing now.
Can't buy it. It was a limited production run. There was only 1,000 boxes made. It's a 3.5 by 50 short Robusto, and it's a Nicaraguan Puro, made by Mr. Nicholas Perdomo himself for is it the Smoke Inn? No, Two Guys Cigars, I think it was. Two Guys Cigars. Every year they partner with a manufacturer and get them to make what they call the Firecracker Vitola, and what designates it as a firecracker Vitola is that it's this size, but the cap, instead of being a pigtail or a smooth cap, the leaf is actually rolled and runs down the side of the stick like a little fuse. And that's pretty much about it. They've done different ones. Next month we're going to be doing the Wise Man by Foundation Cigars in the Firecracker. I think we did the EP Carrillo Firecracker as well in one of the other packs.
We've done a few.
You have done a few, yeah. And we also did. They've actually got a firecracker that they have contract manufactured, which is a standard stock item for that company. That's available all the time, and we've done that one as well. which is just
Did you
known
want
as
to explain
firecracker.
the characteristic of that little wick that comes up the side? I mean, ours have fallen off, but
So this particular box, the wick wasn't put underneath the band for some reason, but you can actually, when it's tucked underneath the band, you can actually leave it on, and the taste of the cigar with it on the side when you hit the wick as it's burning down will be slightly different than if you remove it. It's not a massive difference, but there is just a subtle difference there between leaving the wick on or taking the wick off. But given the fact that it's not under the band, when you cut this cigar, unfortunately, it is going to come off.
Oh my God. The light up on this is absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Well, I use my Perdomo cutter, and I'm using my Perdomo lighter while I'm wearing my Perdomo hoodie. So I'm all in for this one tonight.
I'm actually using the wick and sticking it on there.
So Jack asked a very interesting question. Damo just gave a rundown on this particular cigar. Obviously, it's a rare. You can't buy it. Lucky for Professor Damo, he had 5,000 boxes out of 100 boxes.
They only made 1,000, Omar. They only made 1,000.
Oh, sorry. Well, whatever, but he had to 20. I think I probably smoked, I don't know, 100 of those. Maybe something like that. But Jack, I would highly, if you ever have about an hour spare, Cigar Professors, the previous episode, which was done in May, is definitely worth a watch. We are not cigar experts, but we have been smoking cigars, and we have different skill set, the Damo's procurement and other things. And I smoked, I don't know how many million cigars. And
that was yesterday.
Yesterday. So we honestly try to give a very open and independent and overview of cigar smoking. And by any means, we're not, saying that it's the right or wrong way. But if you would listen to it, we mentioned in that episode that there is no favorite cigar. Damo mentioned that Monte Cristo number 3 or 4 it was, or Wild Churchill probably would sit in my palate forever. It would never go away. But if I have to recommend you to venture outside Cuban cigars, straight off the bat, I recommend 2 companies. My number one is Plasencia Cigars. They're the only company in the world who basically start everything from as natural as possible, organic growth, no fertilizers. The way cigars were done about 150 years ago, they've been in the business for 180 years. So they have like 8 generations of cigar expertise. And I love their cigars. And then you have Perdomo cigars that you would never have a bad Perdomo cigar, no matter what. So, and very well priced. And you're never going to have a bad cigar. So there are your 2 P's, the 2 P's before you get into.
Actually, another P that you could add to that is Padron.
Padron as well.
Great. They're good cigars.
I guess yesterday, that was all right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite brands outside of Perdomo is Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. I really do like the work that Steve Sarker does. Now, the interesting thing is Steve Sarker used to work for Drew Estate, and he had a lot of input into the development of the Liga Privada series, of which the first cigar we had is part of that series. And so when you actually smoke some of Steve Sarker's cigars, you actually get these flashbacks to other Drew Estate Liga Privada cigars, because you can almost smell and taste the handiwork of his blending style and his cigar making techniques. So they're probably for me the 2 go-to brands that I tend to fall back to is Perdomo. Actually, I tell you one thing. If I'm ever introducing someone to a cigar for the first time, a new smoker, the 2 that I always would fall back to is the Perdomo 10th anniversary champagnes in the Connecticut wrappers. They're a great starter beginner stick for the first time of having a cigar. And the other one that I'm also a fan of for a brand new smoker is the Nub by Oliva in the Connecticut. They're just a really, really good, smooth, easy to approach stick for someone who wants to experience a cigar for the first time.
Is that the 354, or is that the?
Yeah, they do it in a 354. I think they also do it in a 358. They do it in a 460. They do it in a torpedo as well.
64.
So there's a few different Vitolas in that particular one that they do.
Yeah. Damo, you have to also put a disclaimer that Don't Burn Tobacco has your personal relationship with Steve Saka, and one of them was someone's love child or something shit like that. So, you have to be honest with you for you to put a disclaimer out.
We had the 10th anniversary one. Sorry.
The 10th anniversary, man, that Connecticut, it's something. There's something about that 10th anniversary Connecticut. It is probably one of the best Connecticut.
It was amazing.
Amazing steak. Absolutely amazing steak. Yeah, it's a lot to explore. With
talking about this cigar that we've just lit up, what were your opening notes on this cigar? For me, I was getting bakery, sort of almost a toasted almond note there on the lighter.
A bitter almond.
Mm-hmm.
It's almond on the bitter side. I would probably put it into the category of marzipan, which is almond mixed into some sort of sweetness, a bitter almond mixed into sweetness of some kind, whether it's honey or molasses type of sweetness, very earthy, deeper sweetness. It's got a notes of cacao there as well, Dames. I don't know if you get that or not. It's got a dark.
I'm getting a bit of that now.
Yeah, 100% chocolate that Damo makes. Beautiful. We should let Damo's daddy, Mr. Perdomo know, Nick Perdomo, that it is one hell of a cigar. It's one hell of a cigar. One hell of a cigar. And the most transitions you have out of any cigars are, I think, Perdomo cigars. When it comes to transitions, Cubans have no transitions or very little transitions. It starts good, ends good, starts bad, ends bad. But Perdomo takes you through a journey. It's just a journey that you go on. It takes you with you. It makes you go through it and appreciate and enjoy it. Absolutely.
A little bit of pepper on the tongue on this as well at the moment, just very subtle.
If he rolls back into a few episodes before, where Damo went over and had an interview with him over a few episodes of Cigar Professor, sort of released some of that interview, and we spoke quite a fair bit on it, didn't we?
Yeah, I've actually uploaded that to YouTube and Rumble and put the links on our Facebook group page for the interview in its entirety uninterrupted. So if you actually want to sit down and watch that interview between Nick Perdomo and myself when I was over there last year, definitely jump on one of our media platforms where our videos are and have a look. That was put up a couple of months ago.
That's right. That's right.
Have some of your chocolate, Damo, and then try again and see how that changes the flavour. To me, it took out some of that sweetness that I was getting before.
So I've got some of the 100% chocolate that I make. It's actually quite interesting. Perdomo cigars I find age really well. I'm a bit of a fan of aging cigars. I do prefer the taste of a cigar with a bit of age on it. But one of the things I've noticed is the Firecracker is probably the most diverse in its flavor change over time, from when it was fresh in 2020 to now, compared to the other Perdomo cigars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. True. I think you have always a darker Maduro wrapper going to age really well. It's going to become more sweeter as it ages. Although Nick Perdomo have a different view on, he just wants you to, as soon as cigar saddles in a couple of weeks, you just got to smoke it. But I really appreciate when a darker wrapper, such as a Maduro wrapper, or even a sometimes ungrown, ages. It's beautiful.
Well, Nick's idea is that he's done all the aging for you. Just smoke it.
Yeah. Which is fair. I don't mind that. It's fair.
Yeah, look, his cigars are ready to go straight out of the box when you get them. One of the things that I do, it's a little bit different to a lot of other people, is that I do like to mix up the cigars that I enjoy and age them together. So there's like a cross-pollination. So I add cigars into my humidor. I take cigars out as I smoke them, but I like to put my sun-growens, my Maduros, and my Connecticut's all mixed up together. So as they age, the Connecticut's absorbing some of those flavors out of the other cigars, and they're just all cross-pollinating. And the interesting thing is, from that one particular humidor that I do that in, every time I have a cigar, it's always a bit different because there's been cigars added to it that have added to the diversity and the flavor complexity. And then there's cigars that I can't get anymore whittled down and disappear from that humidor. They're no longer able to impart those flavors into the next lot of cigars that go into that. But then again, I also do have other humidors where I just keep the cigars by themselves in their boxes and don't have that cross-pollination going on, so that I can appreciate the cigars just as they are as well.
What changes you getting, Stu?
The sweetness is coming back. It's not quite a honey.
Chocolate, that sort of bitter almond marzipan note sort of cranked up a fair bit for me. Now that chocolate has gone from my palate, it's not as predominant, but that sweetness is coming back, like you said, Stu.
Yeah. Then
So
you go, Stu.
I was just I had the rum before, and that brought out all the deep flavors that were in there.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just having a bit of the whiskey. Oh yeah, I think I found my my cigar pairing drink. That single barrel. Yeah, it's like a different cigar. More complex but smooth.
Yeah. I think Firecracker is that cigar that it has so much complexity, and every time we have it, and it gives you an entirely different taste.
Thanks, Jack. It's appreciated.
It's
And this is the whole reason we do this show, is so people can chime in, ask questions, and really that's what the cigar community is all about. It's about sharing our experiences together. There's no, with a few exceptions, there really is no right and wrong in the cigar world. There's a few little etiquette things, but it's all about what you enjoy and how you enjoy it, and that's the most important thing. But you might discover things and learn some things with some cigars, and you'll share that with someone else who will go, oh wow, I didn't know that, or I haven't tried that, or haven't experienced that, and they'll try it and go, hey, that's pretty cool, we'll do that too. So that's really what this community is all about. It's about sharing the joy and the love and the knowledge of cigars with one another.
Absolutely. Where are you logging in from, Jack? Are you Sydney sider? You from Melbourne?
Or even overseas, perhaps.
That's much better. Do you have the sweet chocolate there, or you just got the 100?
Yeah, I think I got some of the sweetening on me. I think this is the sweet one.
The sweet chocolate you made and the whiskey. That's a good combo.
That's a great combo. Jack's from Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'll be down in Melbourne next week.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Then you remember that show we had at, is it Ocean? In the Star? At the Star.
The Star, sorry.
Yeah,
Yep.
at the Star. That was a really good show.
So how does Jack keep his cigars? In a Tupperware, or has he got a fancy humidor, or just in a Ziploc bag?
Well, because I use Pelican cases, I've got 3 Pelican cases I use. Do I call them Pelicadors?
Sounds fishy.
Oh, wow, that's a different flavour there.
Yeah.
For me, that sweeter chocolate's brought out a little bit more of a vegetative note, I think, on that cigar.
Damo and we are in Sydney. Mr. Stu is in no man's land.
Yeah, I'm up in the mountains. King Lake.
That's the one, King Lake. Topher is in Albury. He's away currently. He's touring the States for his talks. Daniel usually comes in, and he's still in Albury, isn't he?
Yep.
He's in
My
Albury.
band's actually stuck onto my wrapper.
No.
Yeah.
Happens.
Does. I mean, these are handmade things. They're made by the thousands, so it's not uncommon to have things like that happen. But
What is a bonus, though, with the Perdomos is even if you tear it a little bit, there's still enough strength in that binder behind it to not create as many dramas, and it doesn't peel out and carry on like some of the other ones can.
Yeah.
oh, there we go. I've detached it from the leaf, and I think, yep, I can just slide it straight off now.
Yeah.
Very good. It was just the tiniest little bit of the edge. I keep getting the sweetness in that cigar. I keep getting sort of almost like just a slight hint that I think's a bit like a musk lolly sweetness there.
What about the foot smoke, gents? It is absolutely phenomenal. It's like burning all like, something like a sandalwood. It's just that sweetness.
Wow.
I'm glad Topher's not here. Actually reminds me a little bit of burning jacaranda wood.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely got that sort of sharp, sweet, fragrant note.
Yeah.
How's the burn? Textbook.
Flawless. Absolutely
Not
flawless.
bad. I'm outdoors.
Combined with
absolutely.
Perdomo. And I think one of the reasons that Perdomo cigars burn so ridiculously well, apart from the fact that they draw test every single cigar they make, they're, I think, possibly the only manufacturer that does that. So a lot of companies will have a handful of draw test machines, and they will test a percentage of the cigars going through. But when I was with Nick, I think he said they had about 20 odd or 30 odd machines, and they were actually putting in an order for like a dozen or 15 more to ramp up being able to test all of the cigars that they're producing.
Yeah.
But besides that, they ferment their tobacco longer than I think anyone else does. Like 36 months on their Connecticut's, right out to 66 months, I think it was,
Yeah.
for their Maduros, and the sun grown somewhere in between, something like about 48, 50 months on their sun grown. So I think that incredible amount of fermentation that they do is it just brings about a level of quality control on their tobacco leaf that just performs flawlessly.
It's about 7 years from seed to cigar, isn't it?
Yeah. I have to break it to you. Placencia do up to 16 years. The basic range of their Alma Fuente is 12 years plus. So Placencia is up there. That's why for me, they take the cake in terms of what to do fermentation. But it's certainly up there. I think Nick Perdomo's Bourbon Barrel Multiple Plus. Huh?
He's got his 12-year.
Yeah, 12 year.
Barrel aged. Yep.
That is 12-year plus. So he's certainly up there. I think between them two, there's not many ways that sort of long terms. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
You've got to have a lot of inventory to be able to do something like that, and that's one of the things that Nick's got. You know, like he was telling me that when he started off in the cigar, business, sort of working with his dad, it was, they were excited when they sort of bought their first few bales, and they had a few bales of tobacco leaf, but now he's got thousands of bales in storage and warehousing, at various stages of production.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Interesting. Jack was talking about the aroma, and I must admit, the Monte Cristos do have beautiful aroma. Monte Cristo number 3s, 4s, 1s, and 2s, they all have beautiful aroma. There's a one Monte Cristo I think is the Open Eagle series. It's another one of those that has phenomenal aroma. Foot smoke.
Bit of stem.
Man, this is a journey. That's a journey cigar. That's beautiful. It's
I feel
absolutely.
like I'm about to do a Tofa.
Yeah. Now Topher is missing out. He always misses out.
Well, his cigars are probably sitting at his home though.
Mate, I can tell you 1,000 online places, but there's no one that I know of keep their cigars as good as Damo. So send us a message on Cigar Professor Facebook page. You would hear from Damo. I'm completely honest and unbiased when I say that. He pays tax. He does all the right things that a small business does. So none of that gray market shit. But what you will guarantee is when you receive the cigar, it would be in possibly the most perfect smokable shape. You might pay a couple of dollars more, but what you get in return is guaranteed that you're going to have a great experience. Unless, if you go traveling overseas, then sure, you get just a bunch of sticks and someone coming from overseas, you ask them to bring you something. But in Australia, I think if you can't find something from Damo, I think Melbourne has Alexander cigars. I think I can say that they are authentic and real. They would certainly give you the right product. So between Alexander and Damo Cigar Professor, I think they'd get probably two good choices.
Big cedar note just hit me. Big cedar note. It was like I stuck my nose in a big fresh humidor and took a whiff.
Yeah, I'm getting the cedar now. To me, it's like it's a cedar / hardwood. I can feel redwood, hardwood, something which is more. It's like cedar, but it's more. I don't know, Damo, if you're getting that. Whether it's leather into cedar, That could be one of those things.
Yep.
But it's Cedar Plus.
I just touched up after the ash dropped, and I started getting a bit of leather.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So you're getting cedar with some bunch of leather in it. Thanks. What a cigar. What a cigar. What a Perdomo cigar. I really appreciate, honestly, to me, I mean, there's AJ Fernandez, there's Oliva, you know, they're all really good cigar companies in the States. But you would never go wrong with Plasencia and Perdomo. You would never, ever go wrong with them. It's just no way.
I must admit, Perdomo is my go-to. If I don't know what I want, I pretty much always grab a Perdomo. And I know for you, Omar, it's a bit with Plasencia. If you don't know what you want, you just grab a Plasencia.
Or Perdomo them. I would never take it away from Perdomo cigars. They, you know, like Nick Perdomo doesn't know we talk about him. Nestor Plasencia doesn't know we talk about this. We get nothing. But it's just a fact. Look, I will put AJ Fernandez in the same category. New World cigars, absolutely phenomenal. You probably won't get a bad cigar, and they're not super expensive cigars.
I think besides the Wide Churchill, I think one of the ones that Topher goes for is the Oliva V.
Yes. Oliva V, Melanio, whether it's a straight V. And look, I'm a fan of the Series G as well. It's a Cameroon wrapper. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I just bought some tins off a mate. He got the small Cameroon Series G Olivas, and they pack punch for a small cigar.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That was quick.
It's going well.
I'm still getting that marzipan bitter almond note there.
Mixed with cedar, leather.
Definitely leather, cedar, wood.
Sort of getting into the final third, not quite, about halfway.
I'm about halfway at the moment.
Yeah, I'm halfway for sure.
I'm just starting to get some changes now.
It'll be interesting to see. That's a great question, Jack. So we store all of the cigars at 65% using the Boveda packs. Originally, we started at 69. What we found was through the course of the year in the Australian environment with summer, we found that the 69% would often push to a bit over 70% with our hot summers. And there's the rule of thumb that they say that you should keep cigars below 70, that's 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 70% relative humidity. Over those values is when you're likely to cause tobacco beetle to hatch and attack your cigars. Also, we have experience, particularly with Cuban cigars, mold growing on the Cuban cigars with a relative humidity of 68 to 70%. It will trigger mold growth on Cuban cigars for some reason, whereas 65, they seem to be perfect at the smoke, to smoke straight out of the humidor at 65. They tend to store better throughout the Australian summer. And funnily enough, if you go back and look at our videos from 2021 when we did the Cuban pack and we had the Cohibas in our pack, we did a whole thing where there's a lot of people saying that it's plume on the cigar, and plume does exist on a cigar, but it is like little tiny salt crystals. So when you actually hold the cigar in the sunlight and actually move it, the little crystals will sort of glitter a little bit, reflect, sparkle in the light, and they actually have like a sugar, sandy, gritty feel to it. But if it's a white powder that just wipes off, that's usually mold. And we actually sent off cigars to a university lab for lab analysis, and proved that it was mold. And as a result of the lab testing that we did, the Australian Habanos distributor changed their warehouse humidity down to 65% as well, to try and avoid mold issues that was happening as well. So
yeah, originally I was a big fan of 69, and I still have it at 69, but I think the whole Australian climate, heat, I think 65 is definitely more suitable for cigars. Probably not elsewhere in the world, but in Australia, it's 65, I reckon.
And look, even like Topher, he was, and particularly in cold weather, he was having his cigars at 69, and with cold weather when he was in Melbourne, and he was getting tarring issues with his cigars when he was smoking them. By increasing the temperature slightly, instead of keeping them out in his garage where it got ridiculously cold during the Melbourne winter, brought them into the house, and then also reduced his humidity from 69 down to 65.
Yeah.
He ended up much better smoking experience as a result of that.
Yeah, that's true.
You're getting a change. I thought I got a bit of chicory before.
I had dryness to it. I'm getting a bit of dryness, a bit of
My ash just dropped just past the halfway mark.
you're talking to Ash King.
Plain piece of ash though, one chunk.
Yeah, beautiful ash.
Look, we're handing it to you tonight, Omar.
It's been a few episodes. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, I get that. I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah, but you'd like to sit with your cigar in that direction.
Look, there are excuses and there is outcomes. It's all about the outcomes. Oh yeah, Damo. She's good. She's good.
Oh, look, this next question, this is an Omar question. Omar is the fragrance king.
Jack. Don't get me started on that. I had a conversation with my sister-in-law once, and she's going on about men and women and makeups and all that shit. So you take me to a deserted island, and I would have my cigar and I have my fragrance. I would never compromise on that shit, no matter who's there. It's just like Rumi said, the birds go ahead and sing. They sing their song. They don't care about who's listening and who's watching. But that's about men as well. Where do we start? Look, with cigars, there are two key profiles that you got to remember: leatheriness and woodiness with spice. So the patchoulis and leathers, that's your key. Think about patchouli, think about leathers, and obviously, the sweetness that in the fragrance that comes with it. I'm heavily into fragrance, and some fragrances they go really well with that. And I'm a fan of ouds and all these darker profiles. They sit so well, particularly the winter. You wearing leather, and you have a nice fragrance. So the woods and patchoulis and ouds and all the essence, the deeper essence, they are the ones that you're gonna go for.
When I open my humidor, and all I get is this big waft of Spanish cedar, I often wonder what it would be like to be inside the humidor smoking it at the same time.
Your humidor's almost big enough you could do that.
Yeah. Resins anything to do with resins, frankincense, myrrh, all these fragrances, all these profiles, they are absolutely beautiful.
Actually, one of the ones that I by Aesop is Hawil.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's got I think it's got a sandalwood in there.
Yeah, all the woods.
Sandalwood, and I think it's got a bit of black pepper in there as well, which goes really well.
Black pepper. They often use pink peppers in that as well, which mixes really well with all the other woods.
What about Douglas fir?
That's a Mr. Stew thing, right?
I got some tiles, pavers delivered from Vietnam on a job, and the crate that they've made it out, I reckon, is a type of fir, like a Douglas fir or something like that. It's a little bit pungent, sort of almost fruity. I think you'd like it.
There's
We
something
appreciate you, Jack.
really nice about the smell of a good timber, isn't there?
Yeah, timber. Redwood.
Western red cedar.
I was chainsawing up some a dead tree that a friend's farm last week that fell over, and it's just something absolutely, like, you know, obviously when you're chainsawing away, you're smelling the oil and the two-stroke burning, but once I'd finished chainsawing, I was just picking up all the wood and stacking it. There's that smell of fresh cut wood is just something else.
Unless it's cypress, that's horrific.
Cypress, yeah. Cypress, but could you imagine cypress blended well into sweeter notes? It's, you know.
Yeah.
There's one thing I would say to Jack. The fougere part of the fragrance, which is the patchouli, the old barbershop type of smells, they go really well with cigars as well.
I'm a patchouli fan.
Yeah, all men are. I shouldn't say that. It's a man thing to be a fan of patchouli. The mulchiness, it reminds you of forest, walking into a forest or a barbershop.
Just starting to get a bit of a crooked burn.
Yeah, it is.
But I'll touch him up anyway.
Being outdoors, it can happen.
So I'm fortunate I'm indoors, but I do have I've actually got a kerosene lamp over there burning to just put a bit of warmth into the factory, because it was quite a chill in the air in here. It's cool, but it's taken the chill off. And that's one of the things that I've noticed too with cigars. If it's too cold, it can be quite a unpleasant experience having a cigar. Doesn't want to burn too well when it's too cold.
Boys, that needs to be ashed and see where it goes.
Yeah, this new heater that I've just got, just sitting right there, and I've got it on low, I think. Yeah, I've got it on low. It's changed the experience sitting out here in the cold.
Yeah. Steve, that is a fantastic question. That is really, really, and I think as many different cigar smokers that are out there is as many different answers to that question. I think so. No cigar, not every cigar will fit the same rule. You know, every cigar is going to be unique to what it likes and what it doesn't like. What I've personally found is Connecticut's generally start to peter out at about the 5 to 7 year mark.
Yeah,
but
max.
Why I put my Connecticut's in amongst my Maduros. And I actually have some cigars. Actually, Omar and I last year, I think it was at the end of last year or early this year, had the Perdomo 10th anniversary champagnes that I had bought in 2016 that had been, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like almost 10 years of age on them. And that was absolutely great. But then again, I've got some Maduro cigars. I've got some Macanudo vintage, the ones that have the metal bands on them. They're Maduros, and I've had them for 5 years, and they're already old stock when I bought them, but I think they're just starting to get to the point where they're just starting to lose their sparkle. They're getting a little bit muted in their flavor profile. So what I suggest is to always, when you're thinking of aging cigars, is to grab a handful of those cigars at least, if not a box, and start off enjoying them over time and get a feel for it. Learn what you like and how you like to have your cigars. Because, you know, even though I love Perdomo cigars, my opinion of how I like Perdomo cigars is actually different to Nick Perdomo himself. I like his cigars with a couple of years of age on them personally. But that's just my thing. I like that softness and that sort of roundness that comes through aging cigars. I like the flavor profile of an aged cigar personally. Not to say that I haven't had great cigars that are fresh, but like even Candelas are very, very mild, very soft smoking cigar. But I love putting 1 or 2 years of age on a Candela before smoking it. I just find it is extra creamy. You get that real sort of custardy creme brulee note to it that you don't usually get when you have it fresh. So, but then again, that cigar that Omar and I were talking about earlier on in the show, the Monte Cristo, how old was that? That was like 20 odd years old or something, wasn't it?
20 years old.
That was a phenomenal stick.
Phenomenal stick, yeah.
And I've got some Cuban Romeo and Julieta 2008. Trying to think, is it the Cosica?
Cosica 2000. Yeah.
And they have 2008 was when they were made, and I think this year I've only got one cigar left or two cigars left in the box, but I think they've just reached the point now where they've just passed their best. So,
be fair, I've got some Cubans rolled in early 90s, so that's like 30 something years on them. It's like a cardboard. There's nothing to it.
Yeah,
there's nothing to it. Yeah, it's no answer to that. Basically, you just gotta feel for it. Some Maduros I've seen that could last for a bit. Placencia, they just really love their age. They really love their age. I think it's
I think it's starting to get a bit hot. I'm going to spike it.
Well, this cigar that we're having tonight, 6 years of age on this cigar.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely peaking. Absolutely peaking.
And it's a totally different smoke to what it was when it was fresh, and it was a totally different smoke than it was when we had this cigar, a year or two ago?
Last year, yeah.
So it changes with time, and everybody's flavor preferences are different, and it's about trying to find what you like for yourself.
Absolutely.
Omar doesn't age cigars because he can't hang on to them for long enough. So same with Topher. He has the intention of aging cigars, and then before he knows it, he's got none left.
Yeah. I'm a bit upset that you didn't hear from him. Where is this guy?
Look, he could be in America still, which means it'd be 3 a.m. He could be traveling. I've got no clue. I have not had any communication with him except for the first few days that he landed in the States. I hooked him up with some of the contacts of some of my friends in the States who are cigar smokers, so that if he was in and around the cities that they're based in, if he wanted to catch up with someone and be taken to which of the good cigar lounges and the good cigar shops to do that. So, and I gave him the details of a few cigar stalls that I've been to when I've been in the States. Ooh. nice little bit of it's like a cedar, but a little bit sweeter, a little bit more floral, like sort of look a bit like an incense.
It is an incense. Very flavorsome cigar with so much going on for it.
Absolutely.
For it.
Actually makes me wonder, because all of my firecrackers have been kept in their firecracker boxes. I'm half tempted to pull a few out and throw them in amongst my other cigars in my my high-end humidor. Another great question, Jack. So in America, and actually, interestingly enough, I've noticed the trend has started to change, because when I first went to America back in 2015 and started my journey with smoking cigars, I noticed that a lot of people would smoke down to about the band or just past the band, and then they'd put the cigar down, and that was very much an American thing. But in Australia, with the cost of our tobacco tax, a lot of Australian smokers find that they're trying to get as much out of that cigar as they possibly can. So when I went to America, it was very unusual when I was in a cigar lounge or with other people smoking cigars that I was smoking all the way down till I couldn't hold it anymore. Everybody else was putting it down and getting a second cigar. I wasn't used to, throwing away a third of a cigar and getting another one and lighting up. But when I was in America this time, I actually did notice that a lot more of the American smokers are actually smoking down past the band now until the cigar will actually turn on them. And I reckon that that's got to do with, Brian used to run the YouTube channel Cigar Obsession. It's now on Rumble and one of the other platforms. Because he does really good reviews of cigars, he would actually smoke all the way down to the nub till you couldn't hold it or smoke it anymore, to give a thorough review of the cigar from basically the light up all the way down to you just physically couldn't smoke it anymore. And I think he's had a good influence on the American culture of, smoking past the band and smoking a cigar until it changed on you. So I would say the best way of answering that question is you just keep smoking the cigar till you don't enjoy it anymore. Really, that's what it comes down to.
And I think the predominant factor into make sure that it goes for the longest possible time is I bellow my cigar throughout the cigar, meaning that I push through air, wait for about 30 seconds, and smoke again. And that cleans up the tar and everything. And some people do it in the end, final third, and I start doing it after about 2 to 3 inches into the cigar. And my experience is that it takes your cigar for much longer. And as Damo said, you stop smoking when it becomes a problem. When it's too bitter and you got too much tar, you just gently retire it. You put
tar. Omar? Tar?
I have had a couple of cigars. Actually, that Wide Churchill that I had with you, that was phenomenal, that we were just amazed with.
Burn the finger.
I shoved that in my pipe and I smoked it until there was nothing. 100% ash by the time I finished. It was that good. That doesn't happen often. I've only done that a few times in my cigar smoking life, but when a cigar is that good and it hasn't changed on you and you're still enjoying it, well, keep smoking it as much as you can.
Yeah. Stu is using a cigar tool to just stab it, break it through it, and hold it.
The perfect draw. Because sometimes you'll get a cigar that's a little bit tight. And sometimes that can be down at one end. Sometimes I've had to stick it all the way up. But it's rough, and it allows you to bore a hole through the center of it and allow the smoke to come through to help it with the burning and the smoke production of it, I've found.
I'm joining you, Stu.
It is getting hot, though.
And that's the other thing too, it's like when the cigar becomes uncomfortable to smoke as well, that's probably a good time at which, when you can't actually pleasantly enjoy it anymore, besides the flavor. You're burning your lips, you're burning your fingers. That can be a time to put it down as well.
Happens to me every day, multiple times.
Multiple times every day. Don't you mean multiple times every hour?
Yeah.
Getting to the end of it now, though, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a gorgeous smoke.
Good couple of smokes, actually.
Age has definitely not done anything bad to this cigar. It has definitely improved. It's changed. And the thing is that I've enjoyed each rendition of this cigar each time we've had this cigar. Like, as much as I've enjoyed this, I also enjoyed it 2 years ago, and I enjoyed it 6 years ago. I almost wish that I could have frozen it in time at each of those points and then be able to smoke the cigars back to back to compare them.
You've also got some new inventory that might be interesting to
haven't update our database yet, so hopefully I'll get some time in the next few weeks, and I'll see if we can send out an email to everybody with the update of what we're looking at. But yes, trying to diversify the range of products for future packs, trying to find some new things, and I've actually got something up my sleeve, a new one that we've not encountered, and a brand of cigar that I don't think has been in Australia yet. So that will be in a pack later this year.
So what's on for next month? Which ones are we having then?
So I actually put a link to this on the Facebook group so that people could actually download it. People that did order the packs got one of the printed copies, but just so they got the schedule for the shows and what we're having on what dates. So next month we will be enjoying the Wise Man Maduro Firecracker.
Oh yeah.
And the Liga Privada number 9 Coronet. So the little Coronet that you bought out at the start by mistake. That will be the one we kick off with, and then go on to the Wise Man Maduro. So we'll actually be able to see another manufacturer's version of this cigar. And then that'll be on the 29th of July. And then our last month on the August, 26th of August, which Topher will be back for that one. I do like exploring the flavor characteristics of Puro cigars. And when we say Puro cigars, that means a cigar where all the tobacco has come from just one origin, one country. And I'd been looking around for Brazilian Puro cigars for quite a while. And so in August, we're going to have the CAO Amazon in the Dagger format. I would have liked to have got the Amazon Basin in the full size, the Toro, but stock on that cigar is so limited because they only harvest that tobacco, I think, about every 3 years, and it's a very small production run. And they've actually started making the Dagger size, which is a 4x38, to sort of be able to produce more cigars of that particular blend so that more people get to experience it. And then I started looking to see if there was any other Brazilian Puros on the market. The only one I was able to find was by the brand Villager. Now, Villager is well known for their machine-rolled cigars. They're a European company, and the one that we will be smoking is a machine-rolled cigar. They do some long-fill hand-rolled cigars, but it's sort of like the exception to the rule for that company. But in their machine-rolled cigars, they do a Brazilian Puro in a 4x37. So we'll be able to do two different manufacturers take on a pure Brazilian tobacco. So it'll be interesting to see two different manufacturers, whether there's any similarities in the flavor profile based on the fact that they're using tobacco from the same country.
Well, the Amazon Basin one, the bigger one that you mentioned, that was an amazing stick. It'd be good to see the difference with the dagger. And then, like you said, to compare that with the Villager. I've had the Villager before. And, yeah, another good stick for what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, another great question, Jack. Look, a lot of the machine-made cigars generally tend to use short fill, just the way the machines are actually designed to roll the cigars. It's very difficult for an automated machine to replicate, if not impossible, a hand-rolled cigar. There are some really good machine-rolled cigars out there, but the market for machine-rolled cigars is generally mass production for the masses. So, not wanting to discredit it, but it's a bit like, going to a cafe or a restaurant and they do some nice little bespoke exotic hamburger, and you go to a more generic burger place where they just punch out burgers, by the hundreds every day. You can still get great burgers, but there is a difference in the quality of the cigar that's produced when it's handmade, and the care's made in hand assembling and making it properly. And to become a cigar roller takes quite a long time, many years of experience and practice to be able to do. Whereas a machine, it's set it up and hit the go button and away it goes. So it doesn't usually have the same complexity that a hand-rolled cigar is, because they know when they're hand-rolling a cigar, making the fillers, they'll actually break off bits and actually put bits into the cigar at where they've predetermined to roll that cigar to get that journey, that story that the cigar is going to give when you smoke it. Whereas with a machine-rolled cigar, the tobacco is generally shredded and just blended and mixed in, so it tends to be more of a same from start to finish, usually. There's always exceptions to the rule. Been my experience in having machine-rolled cigars versus hand-rolled cigars.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I've had to put mine down. The burning is slow. It's getting hot. And
I think I'm at that point too. Mine's just started to turn on me. So I think that's the perfect time to put it down and let it extinguish itself with grace. Well, a couple of really, really good cigars.
Very good cigars.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us tonight, and everybody who's tuned in tonight. Thank you for joining and watching the show. Next month, last Wednesday of the month, that's when we run the show. Be the 29th of July, and we'll kick off with the other Liga Privada and the other Firecracker, and see how they go by comparison.
That's right.
should be good.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we will see you next month.
See you guys.